brain twisting. It's all very brain twisting. Holy crap. Okay, so night 3, I went in extremely nervous because my first 2 nights were fairly easy. So I was like, oh my God, what's going to be in store for this? And then also, apparently Taita's Yage is extremely strong. We had a plant integration class before the ceremony, and some people were telling stories from the night before that were horrifying. So I was very nervous going into it. I kept trying to bring my intention back from the night before about trust, or like just a mantra, because I wanted a different intention for night 3, but I kept saying, you know, out of your head into your heart, trust, because it worked really well the night before. And so my intention for night 3 was help me contact my inner child and merge me back with my soul. I wanted to maybe have a conversation with little me, and try to feel like the wholeness again, and maybe figure out where my soul had split. I just kept trying to say, like, keep the trust, stay in your heart, you know, you're brave and a warrior, you learn that, you know, the night before, surrender, there is light and love on the other side, because I was really afraid it was going to go somewhere crazy. I went in there basically shaking. I took the first drink, like, I almost backed out. Like, I was so nervous. And I'm like, we're in good hands. We have Taita doing the ceremony. Like, we're good. But I went up to get that first drink, and the other thing is they didn't start the ceremony with rape, which I love, and it usually calms me down. So I did not have that. And so I'm shaking getting the first cup. And you know, I just keep trying to remember, like, this is why you're here. You know why you're here. Like, do this. As soon as I swallowed the first cup, which now Yage is the Colombian version of ayahuasca. It's the same thing. But it's like sludgy. It is thick. Oh my God, I can't even think about it without like twitching. It's bitter. Oh my God, I can't even. I'm going to purge over the side of the hammock. As soon as it went down, I just got this amazing, like, calm feeling came over me. I was just calm. And I went back to the bed and I laid down, and I was tired from, like, the whole day and the night before. So I just went into, like, a really meditative state. It really cleared my mind. It was weird how calm I became. And, like, I just felt peace come over me. And I kind of felt the medicine, like, pulse through me. And I was like, oh, hello, I feel you again. And people started purging, like violently purging, and it was distracting and loud. It's always distracting and loud, and I was able to block it out and just went into like this peaceful state. And I think a couple things came up. It's hard to tell. My visions are not very clear. They're like fever dream type visions, but I do remember parts of like some of them, and they don't really make any sense. People are like, I've stopped trying to make sense of what I see. But I was just peaceful, just completely peaceful. And I fell asleep. And when I woke back up, it felt like so much time had passed, but it was still very dark, which they keep, like, for the first part of the ceremony, like, dark and quiet. And there's a bunch of purging going on, and a bunch of, you know, them healing people and calming people down with the feathers and the chanting and stuff. And I was like, did I miss the second drink? Because I'm ready for another one. Like, I'm ready. I did purge. At one point, and it was just so calm. Like I purged, and I just like sat back up on my knees and just like dabbed my mouth off and swished it out with water and just laid back down, like so like gracefully. Like, it was just such a calm, peaceful night. And so right after I was like, have they called the second drink? Like, I feel like it's been so long. They called the second drink not too long after that. So I'm like, good, I didn't miss it because I'm ready for round 2. Went up and got round 2. Did not tell them, like, give me anything small. Just took what he handed me. And same thing. Just went down really, I mean, it tastes like shit, but it went down very, like, calming. Like, there was no nerves in me. I was just completely surrendered in trust and peace. And I remember taking that drink and walking outside to see the outside and back to on the other side of the Maloka where I was laying. And as I'm walking outside, I hear a voice in my head, and whatever I've heard, like any consultation going on in my head with Mother Ayahuasca, it sounds like me talking to myself. And I said, or Mother Ayahuasca said, I keep trying to show you how powerful you are. I told you could trust me. And I just remember walking through the outside just with this big, like, yes kind of smile on my face. And I turned around and the stars looked like a planetarium. And as soon as I turned and saw the star, there was a meteor shower. I just saw a shooting star go by. And I went over to the fire and I threw anxiety and doubt into the fire, because I had both of those before that ceremony. It was unbelievable. So go back to the bed, lay down, and as soon as I was laying down, they were calling for the first healing circle, and I was just getting comfortable, so I was like, I'll wait for the second one, I guess, or some, from what I remember. I don't know, it's a little blurry. Got to the second healing circle came up, and that's kind of when the second cup was hitting me. And I went and sat in the healing circle and was just very, like, heavy, but good. Like, it was not scary. It was an intense, like, heavy, just drunk feeling sitting in the circle. And, like, and when I was sitting there, I brought my bucket because I'm like, I feel like a purge might be coming up. And he's going around the circle, and when it was him and his whole team. And when they would come by with the feathers and just spraying the stuff on you and slapping you with the feathers and the fans, and the girls with the feathers on your back, and it was so calming and so healing. You could feel them just, like, kind of just healing and pouring it into you, and just, it was so calming. And then they would move along, and I'd get that, like, drunk, heavy feeling again. Like, I couldn't really lift my head, I couldn't open my eyes. A lot of kind of, like, energy going through your body, and, like, I was rubbing, like, my skin, and, like, every time they came around, it would be so healing. And then they would move on, and you're like, wait, when's the next one coming? And people were saying he was, like, orchestrating the room, like how he would raise up the energy and then calm everybody down. Insanely magical, crazy, intense, just spiritual, mystical. Like, there's no fucking way to describe how he orchestrates the room. It's insane. I felt great after that. I felt really good. The tobacco sweet stuff that they spray on you is nauseating when you're on ayahuasca. It is, you don't want to smell it. It smells so awful. It's just like gag. I want to gag. Went back to my bed, purged, and then basically just laid back down, and I don't know, I think that's it. Like, just fell back into a sleep, back into so peaceful and, like, powerful. And I woke up and it was daylight out, and the ceremony was, people were starting to, come back. When I woke up, I immediately opened my journal and I wrote, wow, just wow, peace, healing, power, beauty. But I'm just going to show you my journal, which is hysterically funny because of all the writing in the dark, like, so weird. This was night 1, and then night 2, and I said definitely a reborn feeling today. It was fucking magical. I woke up and I was just like, oh my god, like, everything was so bright, and, like, the colors and the, like, just the world was just so bright and happy, and it was like a celebration. And they sang, like, happy blessings in the tune of happy birthday. I was just, like, started to cry because I'm like, this is the most amazing thing. That was my most enjoyable night, I think, but there wasn't much that really happened, but it was very enjoyable. Tuesday was bizarre. The first day was frustrating. And then also last night, for some reason, the number 29 popped in my head. I saw like 29. I don't know what that is. So there's my reminder to remember what the fuck 29 means. My experience with ayahuasca has been very physical, very energy, like pulling energy, emotions, thoughts, drunkenness, feelings, things like that. Not so much visual. Some of the visions I was getting were very random and fast, like flashes of things, not really visions. and they felt more like fever dreams. But it's so hard to describe. I think that's it for now.